Welcome to the Retirement Mentality channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by. And if you're returning, we thank you very much for coming back. I want to talk a little bit today about vacation rentals. I've got 5 tips, which when I was writing them down turned into 6 tips. So there's 6 quick tips to make your, either if you're looking to buy a vacation rental, tips on what to look for when purchasing your first vacation rental or your second or your third. Or if you already own a vacation rental, I've got some tips in here about marketing and things that will help you run your Airbnb or your short-term rental business a little bit better. So without further ado, let's get into it right now. Okay, the first tip, obvious one, location, location, location. I'm not gonna go into this too far, but there are some points I wanna make here and a mistake that I made with one of my vacation rentals. One of the things is, you know, I own vacation rentals in a beach town in Florida, in Panama City Beach, and I started buying vacation rentals like 6 or 7 years ago, and there weren't very many vacation rentals, and you could get away with a lot more. You could be a little bit farther from the beach. You could have a little bit more outdated furniture. You could get away with more because there wasn't as much competition. But as Airbnb has increased in popularity, more people are scooping up properties and turning them into vacation rentals. So the competition is a lot more stiff. So when you're looking to buy a vacation rental, or if you have a vacation rental, you need to think about, is it a good location for today as well as 5 years from now? You know, maybe you're in a ski resort area. Are they going to be building a new lift, or are they going to be building a new road or a new development? Try to look down the road and think, if you have twice as much competition, is this still going to be a good location down the road? So that's something to consider. Another tip I'll make about location is a lot of cities are starting to crack down on short-term rentals. So if you're in a big city like Chicago or Denver or something like that, and you're not looking at beaches or, you know, more vacation type destinations, if you're looking at city kinds of vacation rentals, I would think twice about these big cities, because the landscape is changing, and I don't think there's such a thing as being grandfathered in for these things. So you could be stuck with a property that you're not going to be able to short-term rent. So keep that in mind as well. Tip number 2, I want to talk about size. Size does matter. It's true in vacation rentals, it's true in life. Not all the time, some of the times. But something to consider if you're looking at vacation rentals is, you know, is it a driving destination? Like for me in Panama City Beach, most people are driving there. There's very few people that are flying there to go on vacation. There's people, you're coming from Birmingham, they're coming from Atlanta, they're coming from Macon, they're coming from maybe Tallahassee, but they're driving there. And when people are driving, they're coming with their friends, they're letting their son and their daughter bring 4 extra friends. So they're coming in bigger groups. So if you have a vacation rental in a driving type of a location, you may do better to have bigger size properties where you can rent to 2 families. That's one of the advantages of vacation rental properties over hotels, is they can fit 2 families in there, and they can really save money and pay less money than they would pay to rent 2 or 3 hotel rooms. So the bigger properties, I have small properties and big properties. They both do well. My smaller properties do well consistently throughout the year, because I could get snowbirds in there during the winter time. So that's something to consider. So my big property sits empty during the winter, but it makes more money during the summer to make up for it. So that's something to consider. And if you're in a destination where a lot of people are flying, like when I lived in Montana, most of the people are flying from Texas or California or Arizona to go skiing. So when people are flying, they're coming in smaller groups. So you may want to look at a 1 or a 2 bedroom property where a family of 4 at the most is probably going to be in there. So I'd focus on the smaller condo type of properties in a flying destination, and a bigger property in the driving destinations. Number 3, this I think is probably the most important thing to go over. And you need to be able to stand out. Like we were talking about, there's way more competition than there was 5 years ago. So you've got to be able to stand out. And the best piece of advice I can get you is to get really good photos. That's some advice that I even need to take. I took pretty good photos for my properties. I have a pretty good camera that I'm filming this on. It's a Canon DSLR type of a camera. But I think at the end of this season, when my properties are empty for a month or so, when the summer ends, I'm gonna get a professional photographer in there to take really good pictures and up my game with the photographs, because it's, like I said, you gotta stand out. There's more competition. You gotta figure out how to be better than the next guy. Another way to stand out, my wife and I differ in opinion on this one, but I think themes are a good way to go. I had a dream for a long time of having a tiki themed house. So I have one house called the Tiki House. I'll put some pictures in here while I'm talking, but you know, I'm the only there's some other people who advertise that their house is a tiki house and they don't have anything to do with tiki. I researched tiki. I didn't do the cheeky tiki. I did actual Polynesian tiki design on this thing. I blew through 100 router bits, routering all this trim out for this thing. It was a lot of fun designing this house, and it has made a difference. But besides the tiki theme, I also put a pool in, I put a foosball table in, I put a dartboard in. It has a tiki bar, it has a tiki hut out back. It's a super fun house. It's a little bit farther from the beach than some of my other properties. So I even went and got a golf cart, and I threw in a golf cart, and I charge extra for the golf cart. And I don't charge very much, $150 a week. But it's paid for the golf cart in 2 years. The golf cart paid itself off. So adding all those little extra things makes me stand out. If somebody wants a pool and I have cornhole in the backyard. It's like a really fun party. So you got to think about what's the norm where you are. If you're in a ski area, maybe you've got a hot tub. That's probably something everybody wants in a ski resort. They want to have a hot tub. Maybe if you're in Arizona, you definitely have to have a pool. Maybe you need to have a pool table. Maybe if you're next to a stadium, maybe you need to have memorabilia in your house of whatever stadium you're next to. But be able to stand out, retro themes, modern themes, whatever's different. You got 15 seconds when they're scrolling through, they're gonna look at 20 different properties, and the one with the best pictures and the ones that stand out, those are the ones that people are gonna rent. So stand out, good photos, consider a theme. Those are my top 3 for number 3. Number 4, marketing. You got to market this thing too. You can't just throw it on Airbnb and just wait for the masses to come and find it. You got to be on Airbnb, TripAdvisor, HomeAway, VRBO, which just merged into one. I think they merged into VRBO. You got to have your own Facebook page. You got to be beneficial to have your own website. And another tip, Airbnb is taking 6%. They're taking 3% from the homeowner and 3% from the renter. If you can pull people off of there, you're going to make an extra 3%, and you can actually, technically, you should be able to charge 6% more because the renter's paying extra fees on top of that 3%. So if you can pull people off of those platforms and get them onto your Facebook page or onto your website, you can actually make more money, put more money in your pocket. And a good way to do this, I'm going to start educating the world on this one. Give your house a name, whatever your theme is. If you're the Pink Flamingo House of Destin, call your house by the name and market it as that name. Make your Facebook page that name, do YouTube videos with that name. So as the world gets smarter, they can find your property on Airbnb, see your kitschy little name that you came up with, Google it, then they can find you off of those platforms, and you guys can connect automatically, and everybody, excuse me, and then everybody can make more money. So the takeaway, market it, do the work, get onto Facebook, and on Facebook they have groups whatever the name of your city, Destin Vacation Rentals, Facebook group, wherever you're at, there's probably a Facebook group for that. Go and find those groups, go in there. You can market your property for free. It's a good way to get more exposure. And people will go in there and say, I want these dates, I want a 4-bedroom, I want a pool. And you can go in there and you can reply to them. Number 5, don't forget this is a business. If you treat this like a hobby, you're gonna make hobby income. Treat it like a business and you'll get business income. You've got to take the customer service to the next level. You got to think about what your competition is doing. You got to beat your competition. You're beating them with your marketing. You're beating them with your photos. You're beating them with standing out above everybody else. But you got to treat it like a business. You want them to tell their friends what a good time they had. You want the referral business. You want repeat business. You want them to come back, and you want them to leave reviews for you as well. And they're not going to do any of those things unless you tell them to. I've started a new process where I just start to mention those things in the initial conversation I have. They're excited before they're coming down. I say, hey, we're so excited to have you. I hope if you have friends, you'll tell them what a great stay you had, and don't forget to leave us a review when you check out. And then you got to tell them the same thing again when they check out, and they'll usually text you and say, we had a wonderful time. We're letting you know we're leaving so the cleaning crew can get in there. And you got to tell them again, great, tell all your friends about it, and we hope you come back. And I offer a 10% discount to repeat customers. And don't forget to leave us a review because it really helps other people know what a great time you had. They're not going to do it unless you ask them. I ask at least twice for all 3 of those things. So treat it like a business. Number 6, this was one I came up with after I got through those 5. But management is another key thing to consider. whether you're buying a new property or whether you already own one. One of the best things, if you're managing it yourself, I would say get a cleaning company, a professional cleaning company to come in there and clean your property. Cleaning it is going to wear you out. You're going to get sick of it, and you're already going to get people complaining and light bulbs burned out and the remote control batteries are dead, and you're going to be running around all the time. But get a cleaning crew and save yourself that hassle. The extra $100 you're going to make just isn't worth it in your peace of mind. We started cleaning ours ourselves in the beginning, and then we got 2 properties, and we got 3 properties, and we got 4 properties, and we were just killing ourselves. And then we went on vacation, and we hired a cleaning person to clean them when we went on vacation, and then we were just like, oh, this is nice. And we never looked back, and I wish I would have hired a cleaning person earlier. It's a pass-through expense, so it's not coming out of your pocket. And you're thinking, especially in the beginning, especially when you have one property, you're like, oh, that extra $100 cleaning fee, I'll just put it in my pocket. And it adds up, but over the long term, especially if you're planning to get more, just go ahead, bite the bullet, get a cleaning crew. You'll thank me later. And on that same note, there's a lot of automation you can do. There's different apps and websites you can do to automate calendars and bookings and cleanings and pricing and all kinds of different things. I'll link to a few of them down below. I'm gonna probably do a whole nother video on automation things you can do for your Airbnb or short-term rental. Airbnb is brainwashed us. They spent so much money that they brainwash us to just call short-term rentals Airbnb, and I try to correct myself. But anyway, so automate as much as you can, get a cleaning crew. If you're gonna manage it yourself, if you're gonna get a property management company, obviously all that's gonna be taken care of for you. But keep in mind, the average price that a management company is gonna charge is 20%, and in a lot of cases, that 20% is your profit margin. So if your goal is to have a beach house or a vacation house in the mountains or whatever that'll pay for itself and you get it for free, you can hire a management company. But if your goal is to make money and be profitable, that 20% you're paying the management company is gonna be your profit. And if you've got a good cleaning crew, and if you don't live in the area, like my properties are in Florida, I live in the Virgin Islands, so I have a good cleaning crew that handles a lot of my problems for me, and I got a handyman, and then the rest of it's calling plumbers, calling air conditioning repair guys, and I have to go back about every 6 months and just take care of a lot of the little problems that accrue, like broken hinges or whatever, broken dryer, and I got a broken dryer knob right now. I got to deal with this 1,000 little things that just add up over time. But you can do it yourself, even from afar. I'm doing it, I'm proof of it. So think about the management, how you want to handle that. Leave me a comment below if you handle your own property management and how many units you have and where you think you'll get to the point that you won't be able to handle it anymore. I have 3 short-term and 3 long-term, and when I get the Puerto Rico house done, I'll have 4 short-term. So I'm getting to the point where it's getting to be a full-time job. I think with 4 or 5 short-term rentals, it's time to start bringing on some more people to help you with it, because it does take time. That's it. 6 great tips for whether you're looking for a new vacation rental or you already have one and you're just looking to make it more profitable. Hopefully some of these ideas will help you. If you found that they might help you, or you thought this information was insightful and useful, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring the little bell down there to let you know when I'm going to put out another video. Like I say, I want to do a video about more automation techniques for Airbnbs and short-term rentals. And I'm going to be doing another video on my Puerto Rico house coming up and how the progress on that is doing. And I've got a couple more ideas. So anyway, there's lots of new stuff coming out. So thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.